Hello. In this presentation, we will summarize the key findings in our review article. Smoking cessation by electronic cigarettes and applied artificial intelligence. Smoking may be the most preventable cause of death. The CDC estimates that the use of tobacco cigarettes is responsible for 480,000 deaths annually. In the last decade, new approaches for smoking cessation have emerged. One approach is the e-cigarette. The e-cigarette may have other names such as the electronic cigarette and e-cig. Here is a picture of an e-cigarette. As you look from left to right, you can see that this e-cigarette device has multiple components. There are many different generations of e-cigarette devices that impact the appearance and effectiveness of the device to the user. For example, in the year 2020, the CDC recognizes a total of 4 types or generations of e-cigarettes. A 5th generation may be made soon. Although e-cigarettes are labeled as tobacco products, they do not actually contain or burn any tobacco. From the CDC website, here are a few illustrations of USB-shaped e-cigarettes. From left to right, the e-cigarette brands are Juul, Mark 10 Elite, and Pax Era. Use of e-cigarettes or e-smoking will have impacts to health. After all, e-cigs are similar to traditional cigarettes and contain nicotine and other toxic particles. The amount of deaths and medical costs because of smoking are overwhelming. The data results of a 2016 study, in Connecticut, United States, showed that participants consumed menthol-flavored e-cigarettes tended to stop smoking, whereas participants that consumed chocolate and cherry-flavored e-cigs tended to not stop smoking. The data results of a 2017 study, in Southeast United States, showed that participants that were placed in e-cig intervention groups significantly reduced smoking. Both of these studies were randomized controlled trials. The data results of a 2015 study, in Midwest United States, showed that participants that used second-generation e-cigarettes could be more effective than first-generation e-cigarettes because the participants that used second-gen e-cigs tended to have more decreased nicotine withdrawal. The data results of a 2016 study, in New York, United States, showed that participants that were placed in e-cig intervention groups significantly reduced smoking. Both of these studies were randomized controlled trials. This is Harvard's original research data. It demonstrates how adults feel about e-cigarettes compared with traditional tobacco cigarettes, and perhaps the adoption of e-cigs is on the rise. According to the FDA, it is very important to practice safe methods when using e-cigarette devices. A user must learn of the potential dangers highlighted in red text. Otherwise, e-cigs can cause fire accidents just like traditional e-cigarettes. In conclusion, e-cigs tend to benefit smoking cessation. However, the FDA has not approved e-cigarettes as a way for Americans to quit smoking, and more research is needed to study the effectiveness of e-cigs. Long-term and in-depth randomized controlled trials, reviews, and analyses about e-cigarettes will help the world paint a constructive picture of the pros and cons of e-cig usage. Current research has shown there are different e-cigarette brands and flavors. Not all e-cigs are created equally. Stakeholders and people interested in fifth and future generations of e-cigs should invest in AI and machine learning systems to maximize the possibility of smoking reduction and cessation. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.